in the heart of a forgotten workshop, where dust chokes the air and shadows move like they are alive. A visitor uncovers a machine that should never have been awakened. It breathes. It speaks. And it carries the voice of a long-dead inventor. What was his final wish? Why does the machine call him father? And what terrible truth hides in the shadows that refuse to die? Stay with me until the end of this story, because the answer will shock you. And it may just change how you look at every shadow around you. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, so you never miss another tale that pulls you deeper into the darkness. The workshop was silent. Dust clung to every surface. Old gears lay scattered across the floor like bones of forgotten machines. The air was heavy, thick with the smell of rust and oil. Each breath stung like smoke. In the center of the room stood a table. Upon it rested a single machine, unfinished, covered with a black sheet. The inventor's chair sat empty, its wooden legs cracked with age. The leather straps along the arms were worn thin, as if he had gripped them too tightly, too often. A sudden creak broke the silence. The door shifted on its rusted hinges. Cold air seeped inside. It carried the faint scent of iron and ash. A figure stepped forward, eyes scanning the shadows, hands trembling against the weight of the silence. The inventor was gone, but his presence clung to the room. It pressed against the visitor's skin, like unseen hands gripping his shoulders. He reached for the black sheet. His fingertips brushed the fabric. Cold, wet. He froze. The air grew heavier. Every corner of the workshop seemed to watch him. A whisper crawled through the silence. Low, cracked, unmistakably human. Do not uncover it. The visitor's chest tightened. His pulse hammered. The voice had come from nowhere, yet it lingered, as if it had spoken right beside his ear. And then, the visitor's hand shook. The sheet slipped slightly. A corner of metal glimmered beneath. The whisper came again. This time sharper. Closer. Leave it, untouched. The visitor's breath caught. His throat felt dry, like ash. The room itself seemed to lean closer. Every shadow stretched toward him. Every corner darkened, swallowing the light. He stepped back. The floor groaned under his weight. The sound echoed too loud, as if the walls themselves repeated it. He tried to speak, but his voice cracked into silence. The machine beneath the sheet pulsed faintly. A soft red glow seeped through the fabric. Slow, rhythmic, like a heartbeat. The visitor's skin prickled. His chest tightened. Each breath grew harder, as if the air itself resisted him. And then, the chair moved. It scraped against the floorboards. Slow, deliberate, empty, yet alive. The visitor froze. His heart hammered like a drum. From the shadows behind the chair, a figure began to rise. Bent, thin, wrapped in darkness. The forgotten inventor. The visitor's knees weakened. His hands trembled at his sides. The air grew colder, sharp as broken glass against his skin. The figure straightened slowly. Its movements creaked, as if joints had rusted long ago. The shadows clung to its frame, hiding its face. But the outline was clear. Tall, gaunt, unmistakable. The inventor. The visitor's lips parted. No words came out, only a shallow breath, shaking like a fragile flame in the dark. The figure tilted its head. Bones cracked with the sound of snapping wood. A hand extended forward. Thin, skeletal, trembling. Its fingers pointed to the machine. The sheet rippled without wind. The glow beneath pulsed faster. The voice returned. Not a whisper this time. It scraped across the air like steel dragged on stone. Fulfill my last wish. The visitor's chest ached. The room spun. The red glow grew brighter, throbbing in rhythm with his heartbeat. He could not move. He could not look away. The shadows wrapped tighter around the inventor's body, as if holding him together, as if he no longer belonged to flesh and bone. And then, the visitor's ears rang. The silence between each heartbeat was unbearable. The red glow throbbed harder, as if the machine itself was alive. The inventor's shadowed face leaned closer. breathless, empty. Yet every word pressed heavy into the air. Finish it. The visitor's eyes widened. The words echoed through his skull. They rattled in his bones. The inventor's hand shook violently. Fingers scraped the edge of the table. Dust fell like ash to the floor. Give it life. The visitor staggered back. His heel struck a loose gear on the floor. It clanged against the wood. The sound shattered the silence. The machine responded. The red glow flared, blinding for a moment. A hiss of steam seeped from beneath the sheet. Hot, wet, stinging against his skin. The visitor gasped for air. Every instinct screamed to run. But his feet locked in place. The inventor's form flickered, like smoke struggling to hold shape. His voice cracked, louder, desperate. Complete my creation. Or join me. In the shadows. The room groaned. Walls bent inward. The ceiling dripped black, like oil bleeding through the wood. The visitor's vision swirled. He felt the shadows curl around his arms. Cold, heavy, unforgiving. And then, the visitor's breath grew shallow. His chest rose and fell in sharp, panicked bursts. The shadows around his arms tightened. They pulled him forward, closer to the table. The black sheet trembled. The red glow beneath pulsed violently. Every throb matched the pounding in his skull. A faint ticking sound began. Soft, uneven, like the heartbeat of a dying clock. The visitor's skin crawled. Sweat slid cold down his neck. Each step toward the machine felt forced, as if unseen hands guided him. The inventor's form loomed nearer. The darkness clung to him, veiling every feature except those hollow eyes. Two dim lights that stared without blinking. Do not fail me, the voice growled. Do not leave my work unfinished. The visitor reached out. His fingers hovered over the fabric. The air above it burned with unnatural heat. The ticking grew louder, faster. Each click drilled into his skull. He clenched his jaw. Terror flooded his veins. But he pulled the sheet back in one sudden motion. The machine stared back. Its body was twisted metal and bone. Its chest pulsed with the red glow. Its face, half human, half iron, with eyes that blinked open. The visitor stumbled back, choking on air. The machine's lips trembled. It exhaled a sound. Not mechanical. Not human. A gasp. Alive. The gasp lingered in the air. Sharp. Unearthly. It echoed through the workshop like a cry from something newly born. The visitor's spine stiffened. His breath caught in his throat. The machine's chest rose once, then fell with a hiss of steam. Its eyes glowed brighter. Red. Alive. Hungry. Metal fingers twitched. Joints cracked as they bent with unnatural strength. Sparks jumped from its arms, illuminating the room in flashes of fire. The shadows around the inventor quivered. He leaned closer, his hollow eyes fixed on the creation. My wish, he whispered. Fulfilled. The machine's head tilted. Slow. Unsteady. Its gaze locked on the visitor. A sound escaped its throat. First a grind of gears. Then, a voice. Soft. Broken. But human. Father. The visitor staggered backward. His legs struck the chair. The weight of the word crushed him. The inventor's shadow swelled, stretching across the walls, devouring every corner of the room. The machine stood. Chains snapped free from its frame. Its steps thundered against the wooden floor. The visitor's ears rang. His chest felt ready to burst. He realized the truth. This was no invention. This was the inventor himself, reborn in steel and shadow. And then, the machine's mouth opened. The sound was not a voice, but a grinding roar of gears. Sparks rained from its jaw. The shadows coiled tighter around the visitor's wrists. They cut into his skin. Cold. Burning. Alive. The inventor's face flickered inside the glow. For a moment, the visitor saw him. Not in flesh, but etched into the flames within the machine's chest. The hollow eyes stared directly at him. Empty, and yet demanding. My last wish, the voice thundered. The words shook the beams of the workshop. Nails rattled loose. The windows quivered as if ready to shatter. Is not death? The visitor's mouth opened. His voice broke into a whisper. What do you want? The shadows pulsed. The machine leaned closer. The heat scorched his skin. His ears rang. The answer came. Slow. Measured. Drenched in dread. You will give me your life. The visitor's stomach dropped. His mind screamed. But his body refused to move. The inventor's shadow seeped into his chest. It pressed against his heart. Each beat grew heavier. Slower. As if the machine was stealing his rhythm. The air dimmed. The lights in the workshop flickered out one by one. Until only the red glow remained. And then, the red glow dimmed. The machine's towering form froze in silence. The shadows loosened their grip and slowly retreated into the walls. The visitor collapsed to the floor. His chest heaved. His skin burned where the darkness had touched him. Across the room, the machine's eyes flickered. Once. Twice. And then dimmed to a dull ember. From the dying glow, the inventor's hollow face appeared one final time. His voice, faint and broken, drifted through the silence. My wish is complete. The ember faded. The workshop fell still. The air returned, thick with dust and oil. The visitor staggered to his feet. The door creaked open by itself. A single draft swept through, carrying the faint scent of iron and smoke. He looked back once. The machine stood lifeless, chained again by silence. The inventor's shadow was gone. But deep in the silence, beneath the crackle of cooling metal, a sound lingered. A heartbeat. Slow. Mechanical. Waiting. The visitor turned and fled into the night. Yet as he stepped into the open air, he knew the truth. The inventor's last wish was not an ending. It was a beginning. And one day, the shadows would return. The red glow dimmed. The machine's towering form froze in silence. The shadows loosened their grip and slowly retreated into the walls. The visitor collapsed to the floor. His chest heaved. His skin burned where the darkness had touched him. Across the room, the machine's eyes flickered. Once. Twice. And then dimmed to a dull ember. From the dying glow, the inventor's hollow face appeared one final time. His voice, faint and broken, drifted through the silence. My wish is complete. The ember faded. The workshop fell still. The air returned, thick with dust and oil. The visitor staggered to his feet. The door creaked open by itself. A single draft swept through, carrying the faint scent of iron and smoke. He looked back once. The machine stood lifeless, chained again by silence. The inventor's shadow was gone. But deep in the silence, beneath the crackle of cooling metal, a sound lingered. A heartbeat. Slow. Mechanical. Waiting. The visitor turned and fled into the night. Yet as he stepped into the open air, he knew the truth. The inventor's last wish was not an ending. It was a beginning. And one day, the shadows would return.